Welcome to the English Conversation Club podcast by Business English with Christina. Do you wish you had more confidence speaking English? The English Conversation Club is your global hub to boost fluency, network with inspiring professionals, and dive deep into today's hottest topics. Members get live conversation practice 7 times a week and much more. We only open enrollments every few months, so join the waitlist today if you don't want to miss out. The link is in the show notes. I am Shayla, one of your ECC leaders, along with Natalia. Natalia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Great.
What about you?
So, not too bad. A little tired, but pretty good today. So our topic today is, are you experiencing the Google effect? And I think we both agreed that this is an interesting topic.
Definitely. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged.
Yes, same thing. I was thinking, I go blank all the time, and I was really scared. I was thinking maybe this is early stages of dementia. I've been saying this for like the past 5 years. But then when I read one of the articles, it mentioned it's not necessarily an indication that you have some medical condition, So that's good news. So
Yes.
let's talk about some of these remedies to help strengthen our memories. What was something that you liked?
Well, I liked using the imagination and looking for the drama, like basically create an emotional memory in your brain. Your brain is more likely to remember that. I really like that.
Yes.
So just trying to visualize and make it come to life.
Yeah, I liked that point too. It said that people with the best memories have the best imagination. So I thought that was interesting. I feel like I do have a good imagination, but I definitely do not have the best memory.
I agree. Me too.
I was looking also, one of the articles talked about writing down what you want to remember. And I was happy to see this because at times, I guess I've thought if I write something down, it's kind of a crutch to my memory. But the article actually mentioned that writing something down on a sticky note or on a list somewhere where you can see it, it actually helps your memory. It's an aid to your memory. So it's not a bad thing to write things down.
Yeah, I'm old school like that. I just thought I was kind of like stuck in my old ways, but I do prefer to write things down, take notes that way. And I think it also helps me be engaged more. Like if I'm a little tired or sleepy, typing just doesn't really do it, to keep me awake. I feel like writing, I guess maybe it uses more of your senses and has you more engaged. So maybe you're more likely to remember. But I really like that tip too.
Yeah. And I think for myself too, when I write something down, I don't know if this is a psychological thing or not, but I just seem to retain information better. Maybe it helps with paying attention, which also helps to retain information, right? But whenever I write something down with a pen or a pencil on a paper, it makes me retain information a lot more. So
yeah,
definitely I can see the benefits on that. Yeah.
And one of the tips that I like too is about reframe your thinking. And I think this is what I really need to do because I'm just bad. Like my mom has had her new phone number. I don't know. It's been probably like a year now or more. And I still haven't memorized her phone number because I just hit the button. It's bad. I know it's really bad. Time of emergency, you need the phone number, you don't have your phone. So I really like the tip of just, realizing that you're relying too much on technology and, make your brain say, no, this is important. You have to do it. So after this podcast, that's one of the things I'm going to commit to memory is my mom's phone number.
Yeah, I like that point too, to use technology as an assistive tool and keep your your brain engaged and active. That is such a good point because it's so easy to put numbers on speed dial or just, pull up a name and then you call someone. You don't use your brain. Like before, when we had phones, we used to commit numbers to memory. I remember I used to know many numbers, but nowadays I rarely know my own number because I don't call myself. So yeah, that's, I have to like pull my phone out like, what is my number again? Now, granted, I do have a new number, but still it's new number
Yeah.
like your mom's new number, probably a year,
Exactly.
a year old. So
It's
yeah.
true. But I think it's a good tip because if you're not aware and also the problems, like, okay, this is lighthearted, but it's interesting how the articles got into more of the deeper side of things, of how if you don't use it, you lose it, and
Yes.
how important it is really to keep our brain active. And
Yeah.
I noticed that they mentioned how important sleep is. And I knew sleep is important, but how much it affects our memory, and it can also possibly prevent you from developing Alzheimer's, which really hit home to me because my father has Alzheimer's, and I never really heard of that connection of having poor sleep hygiene could possibly contribute to Alzheimer's. So I was like, wow, that's really important.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense to me because when I don't get a good night's sleep, the next day is usually pretty bad. And it's hard to pay attention and retain information or remember things that I should be remembering. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. And it's very serious. So getting
Yeah.
rest is important for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. My brain kind of fogs over. But I always thought more of, okay, it affected me that day or the next day.
Mm.
I didn't really think about the long-term effects of chronic
Yes. Right.
sleep sleep deprivation leading to a chronic life-threatening disease. You don't really
Right.
connect it in that serious manner. So yeah, I found it very helpful to kind of really focus on this important topic and improve. There's definitely a lot I can improve on in my own life to apply the tips.
I agree. I think that the tips are very helpful, actually. One that I really liked, you kind of took it to a serious note. Let's take it back to a more lighter note.
Yes, let's have a light.
It talks about creating context. So it mentioned that memory retrieval is easier when you have internal and external conditions formed, or it's the same when the memories are formed. So, for instance, it said if you like to drink a frappuccino while you're studying, then if this is possible, have one during the test that you're taking, which would bring you back into that mindset. It would kind of aid you in remembering the things that you studied. So I thought that was very interesting. I don't have to take any tests or anything like that, but I like the idea of creating the context, linking the internal and external conditions so that it brings back certain things that are important to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I found that really interesting too, and how our smell is stored in our brain. It's on our nose, and how
Yeah.
powerful it is. It is amazing. Like, you can smell something that you haven't smelled in like 20 years, and boom, it takes you back to that moment
Yes.
where you were. It's amazing how the brain. So I never thought of using smells to help me remember.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, even songs that we hear can bring back certain memories. So it is all linked. It's amazing. Yeah, our brain is amazing. Um, so that being said, I'm going to definitely try to create some moments where I can drink a frappuccino
That's
to
what you
bring
got out of
back
it,
some memories.
Sheila.
That's what I took away from all of this.
Drink more coffee.
Of course. Sugary, sweet coffees. Yes, definitely. Oh, that sounds good. Anyway, I think we'll end our podcast here, but it was nice talking to you today, Natalia. I hope that you have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you for listening. But if you want to become a member of a global tribe of inspiring professionals becoming confident in English, get on our wait list. You'll be the first to know when we open enrollment again. The link is in the show notes.